Hello, good morning, my dear students. I am Mohammad Imran Hussain, lecturer in English at Rajagutara Model College. I hope you are doing well during this vacation time because of the emergency situation all over the world. As you know, there is no other way. You have to stay at home, stay safe, and please do not go out. This is an emergency situation. During this time, you can study at home. You can also communicate with your teachers through mobile and video calls. Let's come to our topic today. It's for class 9, English second paper. As you see the topic, I'm trying to show you some rules for changing sentences from simple to complex and then compound. As you see, in a simple sentence, usually if it has in spite of, which is a prepositional phrase, and then verb plus ing after it, we change the sentence to complex by dropping out the prepositional phrase in spite of, and then we take the subject from the main clause of the sentence. In this case, the subject is he. So to make this sentence complex, we'll first take this subject he in the first part, as there is no subject here. So let us talk about this subject. So he, then here you can see verb ing form having. To make this sentence complex, we must have to change this verb ing form to a finite verb. As you see in the main clause of the sentence, the verb is in the past indefinite tense, so we can consider this having to had in complex sentence. So he had wealth. To make this complex, we need to add a conjunction. In that case, you will have to memorize some points that in simple sentence, if there is in spite of or despite, we need to use though or although in complex. So finally, the complex sentence will be, though he had wealth, he was not happy. To make this sentence compound, we'll have to drop out the conjunction though and insert the conjunction but here, just here. So the sentence will read like this: he had wealth but he was not happy. In compound sentence, you can drop the repetition of subject from the second clause. So if you drop that, it will be he had wealth but was not happy. So finally, this is the sentence. This was rule 1. I hope you have understood. If not, please let me know through comments. Let us move on to rule 2. Before that, I would like to repeat, if there is in spite of or despite in simple sentence, just use though or although in complex sentence and but in compound sentence. Remember that in a simple sentence, we have only one clause. There can be one or more phrase, but there must not be more than one clause. A clause is a subject-verb combination. You may ask me whether this having is a verb or not. I would like to say this is not a verb. This is not working as a verb. This is a verb ing form. As you know, after any preposition, we normally use verb ing. So here, as I told you, in spite of is a prepositional phrase. So here this have a verb ing form is applicable. In a complex sentence, we have two clauses. So you'll find two subjects and two verbs. So two subject-verb complements. The clauses will be separated by a comma if there is a conjunction at the beginning of the complex sentence. There will be no comma if we use this conjunction at the middle of the sentence, so we can alternate the clauses in this way. He was not happy though he had wealth. So we can alternate the clauses. It's also right. But we cannot alternate the clauses in a compound sentence. Let us now move on to rule 2. You see in this rule, in simple sentence, we use without plus verb plus ing, which converts to if plus negative. If plus negative means normally in this rule we use if plus do not or does not or did not. And in compound, the first part of the sentence is normally an imperative sentence and the second one is an assertive one. So let us now see the sentence. Without studying attentively, you will fail in the exam. This is a simple sentence. To make this sentence complex, we need to have a subject in this phrase. So to have the subject, let us take it from the main clause. In this case, it's you. So with the subject, let us attach this conjunction if. So if you, now add negative, if you do not, then the verb of the sentence, if you do not study. If you do not study attentively, you will fail in the examination. This is the complex sentence. You see, if you do not study. So you can alternate the clauses if you wish, but it's not better. To make this sentence compound, just drop this if you do not. Use this imperative sentence, study attentively, then add the conjunction or. Study attentively or you will fail in the examination. This is the compound one. I hope you have understood this structure. If not, let me know through comments. I'll answer you. Let us move on to rule 3. In this sentence, in the simple form, we can see there is by plus verb plus ing. So in the previous example, you could have asked me what will be the rule if there is no negative part with if. The answer could be this rule 3. So if plus affirmative is related to by plus verb plus ing in simple, and the conjunction and in compound. As you see, by studying attentively, this part is a phrase. There is no subject in this part and there is no verb too. To make this sentence complex, we'll need to use the conjunction if, and then we'll have to drag this subject from the main clause. So if he, and then the verb studies. You know he is third person singular, so we are converting studying to studies. So if he studies attentively, he will get A+. This is the complex form of the sentence. To make this one a compound one, I will need to drop the conjunction if and add the conjunction and. So he studies attentively and he will get A+. As I told previously, we can drop out the subject from the second clause of a compound sentence if both the clauses have the same subject. So we can drop this subject and the sentence will read like this: he studies attentively and will get A+. As I told you, there is no subject more than one in simple sentence. There is only one clause in a simple sentence, but it's the opposite in complex and compound. in a complex sentence, normally it's more than one clause, maybe 2, 3 or 4 clauses, but normally it's 2 clauses. And in compound it's the same, so there should be 2 clauses. As I said, a clause is a subject verb agreement in which the verb will be finite. That means it can show the tense of the sentence. There is one point with rule 2 and rule 3 that while answering this type of questions, you will have to maintain that in this part we'll have future indefinite tense, and in this part we'll have present indefinite tense. As you know, this is the first conditional sentence in which the present tense, if used with the conjunction if, then the main clause will have future indefinite, shall or will must be used with the verb. So you'll have to be careful with this. Let us now move on to rule 4. As you see, this is not a bit difficult one. It's so simple and you can understand very easily. In simple sentence, we're having because of plus verb plus ing, and the main clause is he can talk to his mother. To make this sentence complex, we'll need to drop out the conjunction because of, and then we'll need to drop out the prepositional phrase because of and use the conjunction since. So let us use the conjunction since here. You see, there is no subject in this part. We'll need to drag the subject from the main clause of the sentence. So in this case, the subject is here. So let us take he with the conjunction since. So since he. Then the verb of the sentence has. Since he has a mobile, he can talk to his mother. So this is the complex form. Since he has a mobile, he can talk to his mother. It is also to mention that we could use as or because. In this case, the sentence would read the same. So the main clause of the sentence will remain the same. To make the sentence compound, we need to drop the conjunction since and use the coordinating conjunction, and just here dropping out the comma. So the sentence would read like this: he has a mobile and he can talk to his mother. You can use and therefore or and hence or and so or and as a result. In that case, there will be no change with the meaning of the sentence. Normally, this so is used. So the sentence would read like this: he has a mobile and he can talk to his mother. We can, as I have already said, we can drop out the subject from the second clause of the compound sentence if both the clauses have the same subject. So you can drop the subject: he has a mobile and he can talk to his mother, or and so he can. If you use this conjunction so with it, then you need to have the subject. So it will read like this: he has a mobile and so he can talk to his mother. I hope you have understood. Now it's time to move on to rule 4. There are some examples based on rule 4. I believe we will pause this video and write down the example sentences and solve them, and let me know through comments. I'll check your comments and give feedbacks on you. I believe you'll not miss it. Please deal with the comments, so don't waste your time. Okay, you give a pause to this video, write down the sentences. I'm giving you some kind of help. This first one is in complex sentence. You need to make it simple and compound. The second one is also in complex form. You'll need to make this simple and compound. The third one is also in the complex. You'll need to make this sentence simple and compound. The fourth one is also in complex form, so make it simple and compound. The fifth one is also in complex, so make it simple and compound. So make all the sentences simple and compound and write the answers in comments. Let us move on to room 5. You'll see the sentence. It's the easiest sentence I have ever found in changing from simple complex to compound. Here I have underlined the main part of the sentence. You see there is an adjective bias. There can be an adverb too with the adjective. So it could read like this: he's a very pious man, but I have dropped that for your easier understanding. So you just take this adjective out of the noun and use with a conjunction like who, which, or that. In this case, this is not conjunction, rather this will be relative pronoun. So as we normally know their conjunction, so I am using the term. So take out this adjective bias and use with who, which, or that. As you see, the word man is a noun relating to humans. We need to use the word who, not which. We can use which or that in case of objects. So the complex sentence would read like this: he is a man who is pious. To make this sentence compound, we need to drop out the word who and use and, then the subject. So in this case, the word man is related to human. We are using the subject he. So he is a man and he is pious. So this would be the compound one. This is rule 5. Exercises. So please base these examples on rule 5 and solve them at home. Then write to me through comments. I'll give feedback to all the comments you write. So let's try to understand the examples. So they are so easy. The first one has the conjunction which. So this is a complex sentence. To make it, we'll need to make it simple and compound. So do that and write in comments. The second one, it's a simple sentence. You see there is only one subject and one verb. We need to make this complex and compound. The third one, it's also in simple form. You see there is only one subject and one verb. So we need to make this sentence complex and compound. The fourth one is also in simple. We have only one subject and one verb. We also need to make this sentence complex and compound. I hope you are doing with this. You are writing these sentences and giving a pause to this video and writing these sentences on your copy, then making all the answers. Then please write to me through comments. I'll check all your answers and give feedback to them. Please keep studying seriously for the upcoming exam, which is midterm 2. You should also focus on writing part of your syllabus. As you know, we have given the writing parts as your homework. Please deal with them at home. Learn them, write them, practice them, and when the situation comes to normal again, please bring the homework to us and submit to us. We'll check your homework. Besides, Bangladesh government is broadcasting classes through Sangsad television. You watch the classes and do the homework given in those classes. Please don't waste your time. It's an emergency. Stay at home, stay safe, keep studying, be happy. Allah Hafiz.